So you just hit level 85 in Cataclysm Classic. Here's what you should be doing right now to gear up for the raids, raided battlegrounds, and arenas. First and most important thing would be to do your heroics and get your weekly Valor point cap. The first thing we'll need to talk about is getting queued up for heroics. You're going to need an item level of 329 to queue up for these. The easiest way to do this is one of three things. You could go buy some greens off the auction house. You could go do some high level quests. This includes the Crucible of Carnage in Twilight Highlands. This will give you a nice item level weapon of 333. And then third, you can go to the reputation vendors that you've probably accumulated some rep with while you've leveled. I recommend the third option because a lot of these items are really good pre-bis pieces if you aren't able to get lucky with the heroic items. Figured I'd show you how to get to the Earthen Ring Quartermaster because he's kind of hidden. You need to go to Vashir, take a teleport from Org or Stormwind. After that, I recommend you complete the first quest so that you have underwater breathing. Fly to the surface and then fly in a straight line instead of swimming underneath the water. This will be the fastest way to get there. Try to pick up some flight paths along the way so it makes it a little bit easier the next time that you come back to this guy. Once you get to this point of the map, you're going to go straight down. You're going to look for a little crevice, some kind of opening to the side. And you're going to swim up through this, and this is where the Quartermaster is. I figured I'd mention that since they are the most annoying Quartermaster to find, so hopefully that helps. While we're talking about Quartermasters, be sure that you pick up the Reputation tabard for every single one of the reps that you may need. If you're not sure what reputation to prioritize, I'll leave a link to a Wowhead article that shows you what's best for your class and for your spec. Some tips and tricks for along the way: you could use the battle standard for more rep. If you are with a guildie in there, you simply drop this. As you kill stuff in the dungeon, you're going to get a little bit more reputation, and so will your guildie. The other thing is learning some of the skips to kind of skip some of the trash that's maybe useless or doesn't provide any rep at all, or it just saves time and it's faster to get to the bosses for the items that you need. The next thing you should be doing is your dailies. The most important daily right now is the Tol Barad dailies. This will help you unlock a pre-best in slot trinket, and you could be using this for a very long time. Make sure that you do the Southern Peninsula dailies as well. Don't be a noob like me and only found out about this a couple days ago. Normally there's only 3 active, but for whatever reason we're getting all 12 of the extra dailies, and these are worth more reputation, so be sure that you're doing these. It goes without saying, but make sure that you're grouping up in a party to do these Tol Barad dailies. It'll make it much easier and much faster to complete. The big thing that I think a lot of people are overlooking is the item-specific quests are shared within that party. So the crocodile quest or the spider quest where you have to kill them and loot a specific item, a lot of people think that these are individual looted. They're not, however. You can share these with your party members so everybody can loot the same mob and receive the item multiple times. This will speed up the process so much instead of doing it by yourself. If you're a jewel crafter, make sure you're doing your jewel crafting dailies to accumulate some of those tokens. You use these tokens to buy your patterns to craft new gems as well as some gear. But most importantly, you use these to buy the Chimera's Eye, which is a nice little chunk of change if you want to make some gold at the moment. In order to get your new food buff, you'll have to complete some cooking dailies. Alternatively, you can just buy these off the auction house, or you could do some guild achievements to get the fish feast equivalents. The lesser food buffs are going to be 60 stam and then 60 into that primary stat. And then the best food buff will be the 90 stam and 90 into that primary stat. To get your individual food buff, you'll need to complete some cooking dailies. Whenever you finish your cooking quest, you'll be rewarded 1 to 2 chef's awards depending on the quest. You're going to need to buy 2 cooking recipes to get your cooking from 450 to 500. What I did was the 2 blood shrimp recipes since they're very cheap on my server at the moment. I did the white crust gumbo all the way to 490, and then I did the hearty seafood soup all the way to 505. Once you're level 500, you just need to get 3 more chef's awards to buy your best in slot food buff. Last but not least, you're going to want to start maxing out those professions. That way you can start to reap those benefits at max level. You can make some really good gold at the moment from your alchemy transmutes, as well as any of the crafting professions that require a chaos orb. I sold my dreamless belt the other day for 9,000 gold, and I sold my first true gold bar for around 3k. It's very expensive to max your professions out at the moment, but it can be very lucrative at the same time. Not to mention all the buffs you get to bring into raids and into PvP. The Engie helmet, the Engie glove enchant, jewel crafters get access to 3 epic gems, tailors get a cloak enchant, and there's so much more. That's pretty much all I wanted to talk about in this video. I'll be leveling up a Blood DK on Twitch if you have any questions or if you want to just come hang out. You can always leave your questions in the comments below. I'll be sure to read through them all. And as always, I will see you in the next one.